Hey guys, so I know I don't normally post videos on Saturdays, however I'm going to make an exception today. Today is the 14th of January, and last year on this day, Alan Rickman unfortunately died. Now I haven't really thought of anything I'm going to say, but I thought I would like to do a sort of tribute video to Alan Rickman, why he inspired me and all this kind of stuff. So I actually scrolled down my Instagram feed and I found the status slash picture thing I made when I found out that Alan Rickman had passed away. And that's there, if you can see it. It sort of just marks some of my favourite roles that Alan Rickman has played. And I'll read to you what I wrote on the day last year. I put, I'm actually crying. I refuse to believe the news about Alan Rickman. Ew, he's choking me up already. He was one of my all-time favourite actors. I first saw him as the Sheriff of Nottingham in Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves, and fell in love with his acting abilities. Since then, I have seen him in various films. He appears in some of my favourite films, such as Sweeney Todd, Alice in Wonderland, etc. Of course, I know and love him best for playing Severus Snape in the Harry Potter franchise. He was and always will be the perfect Snape. One of my dreams was to meet this wonderful man. I won't ever get to meet him now, but he will stay in my heart always. My thoughts are with his family in this devastating time. Rest in peace to one of the best actors I've ever seen, Alan Rickman. That's what I posted last year. Like I said, it's choking me up already. I don't want to just sit here crying the full video. But I really thought I wanted to do this video because Alan Rickman meant a tremendous amount to me. He still does. So we'll talk about the first thing I said, which was the Sheriff of Nottingham. That was the first experience I had of seeing Alan Rickman on screen. And Robin Hood, the Prince of Thieves is one of my all-time favourite movies, and that is largely in part to Alan Rickman's role. I thought he played a tremendous role. He'll be known most for his on-screen dramatic deaths. They're always something, aren't they? And, of course, since then I saw him in Die Hard, of course, as Hans Gruber. Alice in Wonderland, he voiced the caterpillar. I forgot the name. Absalom, is that it? I think I'm right. Absalom. And Sweeney Todd is another one of my all-time favourite movies, and I love the character of Judge Turpin. I like the complexity of that character and the darkness and all that kind of stuff. But of course, the most important thing for me is, of course, Severus Snape. And whether you like Severus Snape or you don't like him, because he's a very complex character, he was written that way or wrote that way, that doesn't matter. I don't think anybody can argue that Alan Rickman played the perfect Snape. I certainly couldn't see anybody else playing Snape. So when I found out about Alan Rickman, his passing affected me a lot. It really did. I'm tearing up as I do this, but I cried for a long time. Oh, I'm so sorry. I cried for a long time and I'm still not completely over it, as you can tell. And I didn't know him personally, so a lot of people would be thinking, why are you getting so upset? Because the whole Harry Potter fandom just sort of came together when he died. And there was some really heartless comments like, why are you posting about it? It doesn't affect you. You never met him. He's just an actor. Why should his death be any more important than anybody else's? And while there is a point there, I didn't know him, so I can't, I mean, I grew up with the guy, watching him on my screen with various films, like I mentioned. When I said I watched Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves, I must have been about 5 or 6 the first time, so I literally grew up with Alan Rickman. And it was really, really hard. And I personally like the character of Snape as well. And like I said, I love characters that have a real depth and a complexity to them. And I love characters that are dark as well. I do tend to gravitate towards the darker characters. I don't know what that says about my own character. But so seeing Alan Rickman as Snape, who I loved, and then hearing about his passing was incredibly hard for me. And yeah, like I said, I've never really got over that, and I thought it would be nice to do a video like this in tribute to him and how he affected my life personally, as I'm sure it had an impact on other people's lives as well. It was an incredibly hard time anyway last year because, of course, we had a lot of celebrity passings last year, and David Bowie had just died as well, and that affected me quite a bit. But it's still hard to watch the Harry Potter movies now. It's such a hard thing because, as you all know, Harry Potter is literally my life, and I do still find it really hard to sit and watch the films because every time Snape comes on screen, I'm just a mess. And I kind of wanted to, like I say, I know I'm repeating myself a lot, but I kind of wanted to dedicate a video to him, and I thought this was probably the best way to go about it. And I mean, he's had such an incredible career, and the people he's met, the roles he's played, him as a person. I mean, we can talk about all the roles he's played all the time, but he was an incredibly nice person from what I've heard. I know a few people who did happen to meet him, and I've never heard a bad story about their experiences meeting him. I unfortunately never got the chance to meet him, but he was definitely on my top 5 people to meet, and he had been for a long time. And I was incredibly grateful and incredibly lucky that I managed to get his autograph, and I will treasure it forever. I'm sorry if this video runs for a long time, and I'm sorry that there's not really much going on. Like I said, I just put the camera on and started. I haven't rehearsed anything I'm going to say. I didn't realise I would get this emotional doing this, but I'm very, very emotional right now. But I really, really wanted to do this, like I said, and I think the whole point of it, like I say, is just to honour his memory and to just to do a video in tribute, kind of. Basically, this is kind of my tribute to him. And I know it didn't really go anywhere, if I'm honest, but like I said, I didn't realise how incredibly emotional I would get. So, off topic, but tomorrow there will be an autograph update. I've received a few autographs this week, and I will see you guys next week, hopefully with a more light-hearted, upbeat video. But if you have anything you want to say about Alan Rickman or anything in the comments down below, then please feel free to. And thank you very much for watching. So sorry I'm so emotional, but thanks for watching. Bye bye.